What's up? Crowie here, Sparky Coach Podcast. How are you going today? What are you doing today? What's up? Give me some news. Give me some activities. What have you been enjoying doing? What have you been hating doing? Hope your business is going well. Talking today about near enough is not good enough. Near enough is not good enough. Just look at yourself in the mirror and just say near enough is not good enough. Near enough is never good enough. And I think what I've been freshly encouraged or freshly inspired with is seeing people come through the last financial year. So to timestamp this, we are July 19, I'm doing this podcast, 2024. So the financial year has ended, a new year has begun, a new era has begun, a new you has potentially begun. And when reflecting and looking at the last financial year, how did it go? What went well and what could go a little bit better? It gets you thinking about a bunch of stuff in terms of financially, time. You know, sometimes you can make really good money and do some good things, but you're like, hang on, I worked 80 hours a week for that. And, you know, you pretty much had 2 full-time jobs. So if you had 2 full-time jobs, you might have just doubled your income organically. So you're like, I did good, but did I do double good? And sometimes you might look at it and go, I didn't do that good. And you're like, oh yeah, but I did this and that, and I had this, we had training, we had new staff members, we had a new admin team we were looking after, we had a bunch of things, we had one job go wrong, we had that one job go right. And this is why when reflecting upon the year, there's so much to consider. It's not just about did the year go good or did it go not good. And this is why we need to break down every day, every job, every hour, every minute, every week. It's why if you want the macro, it's in the micro. And, you know, I just want everyone to be encouraged today that the macro is in the micro. Everyone wants the big year, but the big year is found in the hours of today, in the billable hours of today, in the efficiency of today, in the organization of today, in the schedule of today, in the day. And it's like, if you want the big year, if you want to hit that hit that home run, if you want to score that try, Bradman Best style, who watched the Blues take it out the other night. I know Cam McCracken watched the Blues take it out the other night. I actually went to the Caxton after. We actually went to the game as a Sparky Coach posse. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's State of Origin. It is the absolute mecca of the rugby league industry for New South Wales and Queensland. Queenslanders pretty much only. All the Victorians and South Australians have been like, what do you mean? What do you mean you do that? It was sick. It was actually so fun. Plenty of beers went down. Went to the Caxton after, and there was some wild activities. Maybe some robot on the dance floor. I don't know. Can't remember. All right, anyway, boosting into this, we're talking about the macros and the micro. You want the big year, you find the hours, find the minutes, find the materials percentages, find the inclusions, rebuild the price book, all that kind of stuff. And I want you to draw a line in the sand today and be like, you know how you make excuses for yourself and you're like, oh yeah, I know that should have been, but, oh yeah, but. I want you to stop it. Like, there's plenty of times in life where near enough isn't good enough. And you can only reference driving, for that matter. So driving, crossing the double lines on a highway, and it's like, you can't be like, oh yeah, almost what was on my side, I was almost keeping left. It's like, no, it's like this is extremely dangerous. Near enough is not good enough. There's plenty of times in life near enough isn't good enough. The other day, my little boy Jasper was eating sushi. You know those little, like, I guess the silicone packets in that? He's like, Daddy, is this poison? And I was like, yes. And he's like, what if I eat it? And I'm like, do not dare eat that. Put that out of your mouth. Ah! I was like, no, don't. You don't eat that. That's not what humans do. I'm like, near enough is not good enough when you're talking about lots of things in life. And I want you this financial year to stop making excuses, to stop giving yourself the rub of the green, to stop giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, and be like, no, I will not continue another day, another week, another month without measuring my billable hours, without reflecting on my quoting, without reflecting on the quality of billable hours, without reflecting on the quality of every job, without reflecting on the quality of every day. If you want the macro, the big year, it's going to be in the micro, which is the hours, the days, the minutes. When we care about the minutes and when we care about the hours, we can hit our targets for the day. So one thing at Sparky Coach we're doing an accelerator course, which is we're trialing it this month. We're full for this month. We're billing out for next month. So if you're interested, reach out, greg@sparky.coach, or just give us a good old-fashioned holler. on the socials. It's essentially a 4-week kick in the butt, a 4-week, like, first and foremost, we're going to work out our targets, what we want to hit, what we need to hit. Secondly, we're going to measure it, and there's requirements to submit it and put it forward again and reflect on it. And then we're going to work out what we can do to change that, to adapt that, to make it malleable, to make it better, to make us hit the targets, and then work out where to from here. So it's going to be an absolute killer course. I'm frothing at the mouth, foaming at the bit, chomping at the bit, just going, all right, let's get it done. And I want to encourage everyone, like, don't go another year, another day, another month. Sometimes, like, you know, as coaching industries, we love to talk about the month and close the month. And it's like, the month is too far away. Like, there's lots of, like, if you've got on average 146 hours to move in the month and you've got 5 staff, then you've got, what is that, like 700, 750, 800 hours you're moving. A lot can happen in 800 hours. A lot can happen in 80 hours. A lot can happen in 8 hours. Or if you've got that average tradie, a lot can't happen in 8 hours. Am I right? Anyone driving with like an average tradie is going like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. But near enough's not good enough. You know, it's we've got to adopt that philosophy and go, enough is enough. Draw the line in the sand, stop traffic here, stop at this red light. And, you know, I want you to take your last financial year. If it went poorly, it's a red light. It's like a dead set indicator to go, stop what you're doing, calm down, slow down, take a breath, take a break. Give yourself some breathing space, some time, and work out where the problem is. And I think you'll find, I think what I find looking at people's hours a lot and looking at people's businesses a lot of people are doing the hard things quite easily, and they're doing the easy things very, very hardly. This is hardly, it's not a word, but hardly is a word, but not in the context of that. And they're doing the easy things very, very difficult. Like they're making what should be simple really, really complex. And I think when you're talking about peeling it all back and peeling the onion and just being like, let's just get to the crux of what's going correct and what's not going correct. Alternatively, if you had a really good year, or you might have had a setup year. What do I mean when I say a setup year? If you've been training staff, or if you've been training admin, or if you've employed an operations manager, or if you've employed or taken yourself a bit more off the tools, it can be like, I'm super cool with looking at figures and going like, okay, I can make sense of that because this financial year, we're going to cook this financial year. And I want to make sure that, like, you need to understand your numbers absolutely back to front, and you need to know this stuff because it's like, I want you to have the best financial year ever, and that's going to change your life, and that's going to change your family's life, and that's going to change your family's future. And I just don't think we're not in business. If I said, like, you know, what are you in business for? You wouldn't say, I want to just work super hard, maybe 60, maybe 70, maybe 80 hours a week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, I don't know if we'll have enough time, right? Like, maybe 80 hours a week, and I just want to be like, maybe if I can just make something really average, like a bit less than what I thought, a bit less than what I could earn for someone else would be awesome. That's just not what you're saying. Why are you in business? You want to do some good work with quality staff members, with quality clients, using quality materials to make some quality money. Like, that's probably what you're doing it for. So peel it back to that. And some of you doing quality work with quality people, staff and clients, just not making any money or making not enough money. And then we've got calculators to predict this, and there's so much going on in your sort of like year, and your hourly rate or your price book reverse engineered to your hourly rate, or your daily efficiency or your weekly efficiency. It's all in the micro, it's all in the small stuff. It's in building the price book properly. It's in setting the targets and hitting those targets and working out why you didn't hit the targets. I was sitting with someone the other day who shall remain nameless, like Voldemort, even though Voldemort has a name, and I guess he has a face, Voldemort. Sometimes he doesn't have a face. Sometimes his face is on the back of people's heads. What a great time to be alive, Harry Potter. Sitting with someone the other day, and they sent 46 grand of invoices, like over. I had this one invoice to send, 46K. If you're listening, I'm not going to name you, but you know who you are. And it was over like a 3-month period. And I think anyone that's been in business for quite some time will probably relate to this. You know, you do a bit of work here, a bit of work there, a week on here, a couple of staff members across here, come back here, here, move some materials, get some stuff. And it's like, oh, that's right. Where was I on April 3? Oh, yeah, I better put that in, type it up at night. And then, you know, all of a sudden, oh, there's no money in the bank. I was like, that's right. I forgot I haven't invoiced for 3 months. Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, my gosh, that needs to change. So sitting with them, like, this invoice has to go out. So he puts it together, and, you know, it's totaling 46 grand. Plus GST, including, who cares? Like, it's just a lot of money, 50 grand-ish. And I feel like he got paid that day. So he went from having no money in the bank to 50 grand in the bank. But I was just thinking, you're running an absolute gauntlet here. Like, had the other trades in the job or the budget blown or the client not had that money, the client might have thought they spent 20 grand and you're invoicing for 46, or they might have thought they spent 100 grand and you're invoicing for 46. Like, there's the lack of transparency here where you might not come unstuck the first or second time, but you will 100% come unstuck the third time or the fourth time or the fifth time or one of the times, because it's a lot of money and it's a lot of risk, and you didn't start the business to be like, oh, you know what? I'll just invoice every 3 to 4 months, 5 months. And the thing is, if you're not invoicing weekly, then you've got no like measurement of what a good week is and not a good week is. And if you're trying to play catch up all the time, then chances are you're not actually looking at the things that actually matter. So how many hours did I pay that week? The staff members, how many hours did I bill that week? How much materials was forecast that week? How much materials did I bill that week? All this kind of stuff that actually like that nets you the big numbers at the end of the year. If you're just scratching, like treading water, like a baby, you know, like toddlers when they get thrown in for swimming lessons and they're just like floundering around. If you're floundering around in your business and just scraping enough in for air, then you're not going to have enough energy left for the non-negotiables. And that's what this accelerator course is going to do. It's going to peel everything back to non-negotiables and just rip you into submission with a new foundation, a new set of non-negotiables, a new set of standards. And that's what I want you guys to do this year. Don't accept that near enough is good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough that hours don't go out every single week. It's not good enough that every job isn't measured. It's not good enough that you don't know the schedule's not sorted for tomorrow. Certain things just aren't good enough. And if you can just raise the standard of what's non-negotiable to you, you can do some good things. You can do some great things. So for some of you, it's going to be like, I'm going to get up at 6 and go to the gym every morning and pump some iron or do some Pilates. Did I tell you I'm doing Pilates? Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that? Some of you, it's a line in the sand. It's got to be for your personal life. For some of you, it's a line in your sand business life and being like, oh, I can't get the invoices out every single week. Why can't I? It's because I need an admin. Cool. Okay, let's get it across to them. Like, just work out what's going on, work out why it's going on. And then my big question is, some of us know the what's going on, i.e. the invoices aren't going out, the hours aren't being measured. Some of us know why it's not going on. I'm busy, so you know the what and the why. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Can you make the change? Can you implement the change? Can you crack the whip? Can you get it done? And just accept the fact of what's going on. So accept the reality, but then being like, no, near enough is not good enough. Things are going to change. I'm going to change. You're queuing up for your best financial year ever if you can peel it back to the weeks, peel it back to the days, peel it back to the hours, peel it back to the minutes, peel it back to the quality of work with quality materials, with quality clients, with quality staff, with a quality, sexy business owner, aka you. Am I right? And get it done. And let's get it done together. We are Sparky Coach. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.